to this computer. Now we're recording. Okay. How you doing, Mars?
Doing good.
Wonderful. All right. So let's start off. I've been doing this like with everybody. It's just what was your first Rocky experience like and what drew you into it, either with the movie itself or with like a live action cast?
I think the very first time I ever heard of Rocky, my parents were bartenders,
Hmm.
and every Halloween they would do some kind of different theme. And I think I had to be like 10 years old whenever they did Rocky as a
Hmm.
theme, and that was my first kind of like taste into it.
Hmm.
And then I would say, um, by the time I was like 12, I still never watched the movie, but I looked more like into it and like how historical it was and that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And then it was whenever I was on my third date with my fiance and Rocky cast member
Yes.
that I watched Rocky for the first time. And I will not lie, I remember absolutely nothing of it at all. I remember sitting there and being like, no clue, no clue what's going on in this film at all, but I love it. And then it just kind of became like our tradition,
Hmm.
and our movie because it was very personal to us and very um yeah, just I don't know. He introduced me to like a whole new like side of queer culture, and
Ah,
he
okay.
was the one that you know brought me into the cast for
Hmm.
the first time. So he definitely is the one that got me into it, and I could not be more grateful
Oh,
to him
oh,
for that.
I love it. That's beautiful. Okay. And with that said, did that was that kind of like how you felt about joining cast for the first time? Like just like happy and overwhelmed and ecstatic just to be a part of it? Or was it something more, I don't know, sort
Joining cast, so I didn't audition like
of.
everyone else. I was literally just um, someone dropped out, and Beck texted Heather Ann and was like, "You guys, are you guys okay with having like an extra?" And put me into it.
Mhm.
And I was terrified because that was my first ever theater experience. I was
Wow.
homeschooled my whole life, so I never did any kind of theater or anything like that. The most I ever did was dance. That's
Hmm.
why I'm glad I got Transylvanian for the first time because the only thing I got to do is a dance. That's
This.
perfect for me. I can do that. Um, but yeah, I was very, very excited to be a part of it, but also so, so, so nervous. I cannot even describe it.
Okay. I think that's only natural. I always like hearing people's opinions when it comes to like actually being on stage and performing because for my first 4 years, I never did anything on the actual stage. I've always pretty much been props.
Yeah.
So, and it's always I always find it a different you get different emotions depending on what you're actually doing. So I love hearing how people felt, especially about the first time being on stage. But that's good. I'm happy for you. What is this next question? Sorry, I write these questions down and then I can't read my own handwriting. So it's sometimes
Me. So understandable. Cannot blame you at all there, brother.
um so besides, filling in a role for an extra slot or whatever, was there anything that just made you go, yes, I want to be on this cast. I want to do this production because it means something to me, or was it just kind of like, oh, it's something to do, and
I don't know. It showed me confidence that I did not know I had. I remember waking up the day of, my first Rocky show, and I was so like having to fight with myself in my brain to not text Heather Ann and be like, I can't. Like I was so, so ready to back out and
Oh.
so terrified. But you didn't. But I
But
didn't.
you didn't. That's great. I love it.
And yeah, just going on that stage and just, I think my biggest thing is like whenever you finish the time warp and you fall on the stage and you just kind of have like your eyes closed and just like that moment to yourself for a minute where you can like hear the entire crowd just roaring because that's, everyone's favorite part of the movie and just
Hmm.
it's such a euphoric experience and that is what made me so glad that I did not back out and so glad that I did it.
Yes, that's amazing. That's beautiful. And so you've done Transylvania, and I think what this year you also were able to be the Nursing Columbia.
Yes, I was.
Okay. So usually I ask like, what was your first character, but we've kind of covered that. But as you progress in your Rocky career, right? Because I don't imagine that it's going to be stopping anytime soon, hopefully.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, good. What character speaks to you that you want to try to move to kind of perform uh, um, more, I guess was the word I'm looking for, more consistently?
Honestly, I'm kind of one of those Rocky people that like I want to try everyone and like
Hmm.
see how I do. I think it's gonna take like trying different characters and playing different characters to see who I really fit with and who I really like blend into.
Hmm.
But Columbia was, I feel like I was underestimated with Columbia.
Really?
Whenever I, would ask other cast members or directors and stuff, like, could you see me more as Magenta or Columbia? Those were the two that I was going for this year. It was
Hmm.
always Magenta and always like the more like, quiet, subdued character. So just, but the fact that I was able to do like the manic, crazy energy Columbia and like actually bring that
Hmm.
whenever it wasn't really expected of me
Hmm.
was very fun. And I think
Nice.
it was kind of the same with my Transylvanian, is that she is, the middle Transylvanian and like the lead, and she has to bring all the energy, and that still wasn't expected of me, but I still brought it. And so, yeah, I think it's just experimenting and just
Yeah,
having fun with it and not thinking that a character is, out of my league or out of something that I can do.
I think
Because,
yeah, that's
yeah.
awesome. I think that's a great mentality to have. Sima just kind of got the same thing going on. They want to play every role, and they think they only have Janet and Magenta left, and then they'll be done. And then they
Yeah.
will have filled out their entire bingo card. But I am excited
Well,
to see whichever role speaks to you the most. I thought you did an awesome dinner scene Columbia, personally. That's just me. Maybe I'm biased. I don't know. We'll find out. But I think I think you did a great job, honestly. So since you're relatively newer, what can you say so far has been like your favorite part of being a part of this community from a performance side and like your best experience so far?
honestly, just learning to perform in general and learning to be on stage, learning just, basic terminology, things like that. Learning that I am a person that was meant to be on stage in some way,
Hmm.
and having Rocky be the very thing that just kind of lit a fire in my ass with theater and
Love
just,
it.
even outside of Rocky, I want to do other things and I want to be in other productions. Like it made me realize that this is what I want to do. And
Yeah.
this is something that I'm so, so passionate about. And I love every part of it. I love getting to bond with people, getting to, have chemistry with whoever you're working with, and just, I love every part of it. So
That's one. It's
I'm
so.
just
Mhm.
very, very happy to be a part of it and to have started this chapter in my life.
That's so wholesome. I love it. Oh, it's making my heart all warm and fuzzy. Beautiful.
I'm the feel good interviewer.
So would it be crazy for me to say that like that sense of community is what's going to keep you coming back to Rocky, or is there anything else?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a big sense of community, and specifically the Rocky community. Just, we saw with the election and everything, just like every major Rocky cast posted something about like, we are here for you. We are not, supporters of this decision and, what happened, and we will always be here to protect you. And I think it's that protection, that acceptance, that knowing that you are in a very, very safe place
Mm-hmm.
that kind of keeps me coming back. Like I make the joke all the time with like my battle jacket that has all my political pens and stuff. There's like 3 places I can wear it, but Rocky anywhere is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm completely safe there. I know no one's gonna have an issue with it. So it's, yeah, definitely the sense of community and the sense of safety and just acceptance that keeps you coming back.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That's definitely very true for me. That was one of the main motivators for me to keep coming back. Well, that and I pretty much didn't have a choice. Like my entire group of friends were Rocky. Like I didn't really like I was social at school, but like the only people that I could say that I was actually close to were like my Rocky crew and my community there. Like I would say people who knew me at school knew like a surface level version of me, and then people who actually knew me from Rocky. And it was like a stark juxtaposition for a lot of things. And I'm glad that you've also found that sense of community. And eventually, long form, when you get to be like Ricky's age, you're going to be that torchbearer, passing it on to the next group of people.
Oh yeah, my kids. They're, old enough to see Rocky. They'll see Rocky.
I have met so many people. A friend of mine, I won't say her name here, but she found out that I did Rocky back in high school, and she's like, "I've been watching that movie since I was 8 years old," and my mind was like blown away. She came to one of our shows with her dad, and he was wearing full blown like BDSM leather straps and like chokers and everything like that, and I was just like, "I love this. I love that this is your dad. I love this for you so much."
Who he's talking about?
Wait, what?
It's incredible. What? Oh, I said I think I know who he's talking
about. He who shall not be named. We'll just keep it there. People wonder about it. So you're coming from, I would say, the newest era of Rocky. You're coming in from a point of which that your career, like I said, is just being started. As for like mine, I've been in for about off and on since I was 14.
Yeah.
I'm 30 now, so like 16 years off and on for Rocky for me personally. So I'm definitely like at the midpoint of like where I am with everything. So are there any perspectives that you think that you have that will be of a value going into this new era? Because eventually it's going to be you guys doing all the performing, all the heads are going to be sitting back just cheering you guys on. Or do you think that because of how Rocky has kind of always been this secure place for, people who go against the grain in a polite way, right? Do you think that that sense of community is always going to be there, or do you think there's room for improvement? I know that's a loaded question.
I feel like Rocky is never gonna lose. I would hope Rocky never loses its diversity in any way, and that includes with, age. Obviously, we are, the new generation, and like
Yes.
the newest generation going into Rocky, but I think Rocky is one of those queer history points that is a very respect your elders type thing and a very like respect this movie for how far it brought us and how it's still affecting us to this day with being able to bring together so many queer people and just people of every single different background
Mhm.
and just bring people together to put on this amazing show. Doesn't matter what gender you are, what age you are, what sexuality, it does not matter. You can play whatever role you want to play. It's this open field. And I think that's something that, while it is fun and amazing to think about, it also is something to be very respected. That
Mhm.
this is not the case with really any other show. This is kind of the only show of its kind where you can be so incredibly diverse. Um, and yeah, I think that would be my biggest like advice, or I guess thing going into it, is just respect the history of it and how far we've come from whenever this movie came out in 1975 to now.
We're almost at the 50-year mark. Oh, that's gonna be a crazy show next year.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
Um, so you've already talked about like how you've already found like a sense of like your place on stage and how theater is becoming like a new passion of yours, a new love, right? So is there anything else that you would say that you've gathered about yourself from doing the show?
Honestly, like I said, just more confidence than I knew I had,
Mm.
and just realizing that I'm more capable than I am. This is not, if you had asked me at age, 18 to do Rocky, I would have not ever have thought about it. But just like being pushed into it and just like, not in, a bad way, but just encouraged into it
Yeah.
and, told that I can do it, and having directors and people on my side just showing me what I am absolutely capable of just really changed my perspective with myself in a lot of ways, of just you are more confident than you think and you have more capability than you think,
Mhm.
and you're capable of entertaining people and being a fun person. And it just, yeah, it showed me so much more confidence than I ever knew I was capable of.
That's amazing, and that seems to be what's the word I'm looking for? A running line through everybody I've interviewed so far. A lot of people have kind of been like, yeah, before I started doing it, not really that type of person. But ever since doing it, I've taken that energy and I've moved it to other parts of my life, and it has done magnificent things for me. And I'm glad you're starting to feel that. And I can't wait to see what that journey takes you. I'm sure it's going to be fabulous no matter what. Um, so this question doesn't really apply because it's like, would you, if you had a chance, would you do it all over again? So we're just gonna X-nay that one. That doesn't apply here. But I would like to kind of ask, because we're getting close to like pretty much the end of like my questions portion. This is pretty much everything that I really have. It's not a lot, and at the end, thank you for being a part of this. What is your favorite AP line?
My favorite what?
Oh,
Like
sorry.
my,
Callback line. Your favorite callback line.
oh God, my favorite callback. I'm trying to think.
There's so many good ones.
I will say, like, I knew so many of them, but I have a core memory. I
Hmm.
don't know who said it, but at some rehearsal last year, it was during a floor show. Someone did the what did Michael Jackson's last boyfriend say? And I'm just 7 hours old. I was not expecting that at all. Had not heard that, and I about lost my fucking shit right there. I wouldn't say necessarily it's my favorite, but I will say it's the one that caught me off guard
That's the one that
so hard.
gets you? Yeah, I love that. Oh my goodness. That's a newer one too. That's beautiful.
Favorite though, I would if it counts as a callback, Great Scott. Just seeing everyone throw the toilet paper and then they spend like 20 minutes just playing with the toilet. I swear to God, no one's watching the fucking show after that. They're just playing with toilet paper.
I mean, I feel like when people come to Rocky, you spend like 75% of your time watching the movie and then the other 25% of the time fucking around. And I think that's how it should be.
Great Scott is such a great example of that.
I love it. For next year's auditions, if you are you gonna be trying to do like the Hell on Hills cast or anything, or are you just sticking with like the BAM cast for right now?
I'm probably gonna be switching to the Hell on Heels cast if we can. It just depends because we're gonna be living by the time of Rocky season again, we're gonna be living in Inverness. So we're gonna be like 2 hours away.
Ooh, I wonder if is there a cast that's like a little closer to you guys up there?
Maybe it's just something we might, yeah, it's just something we kind of have to look into.
Fair enough.
Okay. I don't want to skip out on Rocky. No matter what, we will be at a Tampa Theater show next year to at least watch it.
Yeah.
But whether we'll be a part of it, we'll see.
Well, I would love that. But what character are you looking into going for next?
Well, my main thing that I, have told everyone that I wanted to do was obviously I started as a Transylvanian, and this year I was Transylvanian and dinner scene, and next year I want to go for main cast.
Yeah.
And I think I want to go for main cast Columbia, maybe.
Yeah.
Also kind of want to go for main cast Rocky. I'm just not sure which one I'm more drawn to. I got a year. I'm just thinking about it now.
Yeah.
And those are the two that I'm definitely like drawn to.
I can't wait to see either or, and I hope you get them. But I think that's pretty much it, unless there's anything else that you would like to add for the interview.
I think that's pretty much it too.
Wonderful.
I've said my piece.
You said your piece. Well, it was a wonderful piece. It's a nice, sizable piece, and I appreciate you for giving me your piece.
Well, listening to my yapping.
No, it's never yapping. You're participating in something that I'm very passionate about and something that I've been wanting to kind of get back into. And I think it means a lot to me to have you a part of that to begin with. So to me, it's not yapping. If anything, you're helping me out and you're being a wonderful friend, and I appreciate you for it. So thank you. Well, I hope you guys have a lovely night. This is going to conclude the interview. And I will hopefully I get to see you guys around a little bit more. We'll be around. Please reach out. Don't be a stranger. If you guys need help moving, please. My phone is always open. We'll make it. I'll make time.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Appreciate you. You guys stay safe. Take care.
Bye, Dexter.
Bye.
Bye, Dexter.
Bye, guys.